guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Backyard RC channel. First video in a little bit. I was starting to get into some RC stuff and unfortunately had to move. RCs ended up getting packed away. That's alright, not a problem. We got bigger and better things going on. So as you can tell right here, I have a 1983 Honda ATC110. I picked this machine up for $300. A guy who came down about 2 hours away came to buy my brother's pit bike. He had a little 110, really nice bike. And the guy actually had this for sale. I told him to bring it down. I'd like to take a peek at it. And after going back and forth, kind of taking a peek at it, it had some broke plastics. Plastics were crap. Didn't run the best. It ran okay. It had a cheap Chinese carburetor thrown on it. Anyway, we ended up getting a deal done. I got it for $300. And it sat. I didn't do a whole lot with it at first. Wasn't sure what I wanted to do because I had another 1982 ATC110, and it ran, but it smoked like a chimney. Really low on power, but it didn't have a single cracked plastic. It was in fantastic condition. What I ended up doing is buying a brand new 140 Piranha engine, and let me grab the lights here. Not that it's going to help a whole lot. Alright, got interrupted there. Anyway, what I did is I bought a brand new, straight from T-Bolt USA, Piranha 140 engine. A little dirty, was sitting outside in the rain. This thing still has less than 10 minutes of runtime on it. Few things that prevented me from running it. Obviously, I have no exhaust. I'm working with a company. I'm hoping the company who does the ATC exhaust kits for the 140 swap 70s, I'm hoping that we can use their existing header, and then I talked with a local company who's going to bend it to make it work on the 110 frame versus the 70 frame. That's a little different. Let me just pop off the plastics here for you guys. Not that they're that great anyway. And that's kind of the base of it. I didn't want to paint the frame yet. I wanted to get everything mocked up first before even going through and doing the rest of the work. I want it to be functional, working properly. So what I ended up having to do is, if anyone tells you that these bolt right into the ATC 110 frame, they're lying to you. I have some plastic around the carburetor because I did not receive an air filter with this kit, so I have to wait. That's coming in the mail, and it was sitting outside, and we've had rain for a solid week, so I didn't want any water getting in there. So anyway, these have two main bolting areas. Right here in the frame where this bolt's running through is the factory one, and then you also have, kind of hard to see, but you can see it right in there, that's the second one where the factory engine bolts in. Yeah, this doesn't work. They're close, but unfortunately, if you were to mount this up here, what happens is the head is too close to the frame itself up here, and you don't have room for the manifold and the carburetor, and you actually end up hitting. So I made those little drop brackets. They're not officially done yet, but they are something. It's stout, it's sturdy, it's 1/4 inch thick steel on there, and then of course I used the factory mount on the bottom, so it is fairly sturdy. What I have on the way for this is I ordered 5 sets of black plastics. I always like the black and the gold and the aluminum look that some people have done with the 250Rs and whatnot. I think Rath Racing, or one of the companies, just recently made another one. Looks fantastic. So I have new black plastics, and when you order from Mayer Plastics, if you do a custom color, you have to order 5 at a time. So I'm hoping with the other 4 sets, I can keep another set and then sell the other 3 sets. That would be my game plan. Super expensive, but hopefully it's worth it in the long run. Things that it still needs besides the plastics, which plastics are cosmetic, I can worry about that. The kickstart. I have ordered 450R hubs, which are actually, they're put away right now, that will go right onto the stock axle. Those will widen it out just a little bit. On top of that, I've bought brand new wheels, which we can go and take a peek at those here real quick. I believe they're Rock brand. I'm not 100% sure what I ordered. Brand new, but anyway, these are 8-inch wide by 10-inch round. When I ordered them, I thought it was the other way around. 8-inch wheel by 10-inch wide. Anyway, I got the 10s, whatever, I'll deal with it. Anyway, these have a little bit of offset, so they'll stick out even further, which would definitely help that ATC110, because that thing is tipsy as all get out. Especially with that 140, it's got plenty of torque. I mean, in 4th gear on that thing, it'll pop the front end up. It's not stable the way it is right now. Fun, not stable. So anyway, that'll give me about 2 inches, 2.5 inches, I think somewhere in there on the outside. Should be a decent amount, especially since I bought brand new. They're cheaper, but they're Sun F tires, just like these. These are the ones I originally ordered, which were 8-inch. Luckily, both my brothers have 8-inch wheels on their blasters, so I was able to still use these tires for them. But it'll be the exact same pattern that'll be going on this. Once I get that done, I'd like to find suspension forks for the front. A lot of people told me that the 185 and the 200 Big Red forks will fit. They do have suspension. So if I can come across any of those, I'm going to put them on. I know they require a little bit of adjustment, but that's all right. I'd like to do that so I can get a skinny tire up front and then have the fats in the back. Besides that, the only real thing it needs, of course I spoke about exhaust, is the kickstart, or I need to convert it to a pull start. I'm hoping that with the extra hubs and the offset wheels, I'll be able to have enough clearance for the kickstart to be able to go down and kick it. Because right now, we're just, if I had an inch out, I think I could clear it. So, unfortunately right now you have to roll start it because you can't even get a full kick in it. Besides that, it does need, these are pit bike pedals on it, or whatever you want to call them. And they don't work in this application very well. I actually had to trim down the fender shorter so my feet would even fit on it, but that's still way too close to the tire. If your foot falls off, it catches, pulls you off. Bad idea. So my plan is to either atc70.com makes a kit that has pedals that relocates them forward. And then they also have a shifter that is longer, which works with your pedals that are forward. Either that, or I'm just going to buy just the shifter. I can cut these, weld on extensions, bring them up a little bit, and that way I don't have to order a whole nother pedal assembly for nothing. Besides that, it does run and drive. It is a full manual now instead of the stock, which was semi-auto. And what I actually did is the original brake handle, I just made it into, used it as a clutch, which don't really need the parking brake there anymore, but it still works. Everything works good. And then I just went to our local Honda dealer and bought just a Parts Unlimited generic brake handle, which I was able to make work with the factory brake system. Now granted, I don't have rear brakes anymore because the factory Honda pedal right here, it hits the motor, so I had to cut that, of course. But as long as I have this, it'll be alright. I don't plan on going very fast on this at all. Put a brand new chain on it. These, the motor, if you guys order the 140s, and I'm sure it varies across the board, they say they ship with a 428 pitch sprocket. This one did not, from T-Bolt USA. It came with a 420. And of course the Hondas use a 428 pitch, so I had to buy a different sprocket, and I bought a new chain just because the old one was rusted as crap. Now even, just besides those, most pit bikes in general use the 428 pitch. So example of this Pitster Pro 140, this one actually used a 428 pitch. And this is a fun project too that I want to get into. He had a 140 on this, took it to school. He was in the shop program there in high school, and a bunch of people ended up touching it, messing with it, and screwed up the piston in the old 140. So he bought this one brand new, not from T-Bolt USA, and I do not suggest buying this motor ever. We'll definitely get into it. He bought this whole 125 full manual engine for $319, shipped to his door, and it did not show up very good. But that's a whole nother story, whole nother video. Anyway, most pit bikes use a 428 pitch. I'm not quite sure what the blasters use. I want to say it's, I think a 520, but I can't remember, guys. We'll get into that. That's a whole nother video too. Anyway, that's where I'm at on my little 140 swap ATC110. If I can find parts, I'd love to be able to find parts. Obviously, I don't need plastics. I don't need that, but I would really like some front suspension forks. I don't know if you guys, if any of you guys do, watch Junkyard Digs. Great channel. Watch him. I've actually met Kevin in person. He bought one of my sprint cars that had a 250R engine mounted on it. He's big into three-wheelers. I've been in contact with him. He doesn't have any of the parts I need, unfortunately. Well, I think he does, but I think he's got a complete trike he doesn't want to get rid of, and I don't blame him. Anyway, so I have him watching out for forks if he does find any. Hopefully he does, and we can go from there. But for our first video, hope you guys enjoyed. We're definitely going to get a lot more videos. Got a video on this blaster want to make. We just put brand new clutches in it. Just bought it for 500 bucks. It looks like a $500 quad. But slowly but surely, we'll get into it. Brand new tires, blah, blah, blah. We'll get on it. Like I said, pit bike, definitely want to work on that. Polaris runs fine. It doesn't need nothing. And then outside, way out yonder, way over there, we got more ATVs, ATCs. Got another Yamaha blaster. And under the tarp, right under there, is a really sweet quad that most of you will recognize. So, as always, have a good one, guys, and keep up.